Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, the Leader of the House of Representatives, Professor Julius Ihonvere, the Chief Whip of the House of Representatives, Honorable Usman Bello Kumo, the Minority Leader of the House, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, the Deputy Minority Leader of the House, Honorable Aliyu Sani Madaki, Chairmen of various committees here present, distinguished invited guests, my colleagues in the media, senior editors here present, correspondents of international media organizations, other invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor of welcoming you to this very important occasion, which is a World Press Conference to be addressed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, on some pressing national issues. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I use this opportunity to inform you that this press conference is being televised live on Channels TV, NTA, and of course, Arise TV. Thank you very much. Without wasting much time, it is now my singular honor to invite His Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, to address the press. Of course, thereafter, we are going to take questions from our colleagues. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, sir. Thank you.
Esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, members of the press, Nigerians and others joining us from around the globe, ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor to address this World Press Conference dedicated to addressing some of the most pressing national issues we face. It is gratifying to see your beautiful and happy faces. As the Speaker of the largest representative body in Nigeria, representing all corners of Nigeria, I feel it a duty to address some pressing challenges we face as a nation. The very fabric of our society is being tested. Our resilience strained and our unity challenged. However, amid these trials, our spirit remains unbroken, and our resolve to overcome and thrive grows stronger. As representative of the Nigerian people, we cannot pay lip service to the plight of the same individuals who elected us into office to protect their interests. It is our resolve to see that Nigerians, wherever they are, live their normal lives in peace and relative ease. We are acutely aware of the rising security challenges affecting different parts of the country. As elected representatives, we acknowledge the pain and suffering of every family that has been a victim of brutal crimes and needless violence. Let it be known that your cries have not fallen on deaf ears, and your tears have not gone unforeseen. We stand in solidarity with every Nigerian affected and commit to deploy robust legislative measures to empower our security agencies, ensure justice, and restore peace and order in our communities. The President and Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to improving the security situation and enhancing the capability of the armed forces. On Tuesday this week, I attended the induction ceremony of the T-129 attack helicopter and the King Air 360I aircraft in our esteemed Air Force. The acquisition of these state-of-the-art aircrafts clearly indicates the government's dedication to investing in the security infrastructure of our nation. It reflects a proactive stance in adapting to the dynamic challenges of modern warfare and a commitment to providing our armed forces with the best tools to defend Nigeria and our people. You may recall, on November 8, 2023, the President signed the 2.176 trillion Supplementary Appropriation Act to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture and address Nigeria's critical infrastructure deficit. Among other considerations, this investment in the face of global economic downturn and budgetary constraints attests to the government's determination to end insecurity in Nigeria. While recognizing and commending the patriotic and courageous efforts of our security agencies, we must have the courage to effect changes where necessary. These are among the issues that the forthcoming Legislative Security Summit will address. This summit, which comes up in a matter of weeks, will, among others, allow us to hear directly from the key stakeholders in the sector and come up with legislative measures to modernize our security system and improve its operational efficiency and effectiveness. As emphasized in our legislative agenda, the time has come for us to demand greater transparency from our security agencies and full accountability for all the funds spent and earmarked for spending in the sector. We kickstarted our sectoral debates in November last year with the service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police to demonstrate the seriousness we attach to security of this country. We are aware of the economic challenges facing our constituents across Nigeria. Of particular concern to the House is the high inflation rates, particularly the rate of food inflation. As you are all aware, various factors, including insecurity, economic downtowns, and climate change-induced disruptions, have exacerbated this crisis. I wish to commend the rapid and decisive response of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to the issue of food security. The 2023 supplementary budget provided a 200 billion naira palliative package, mainly for grains, seeds, agricultural inputs, and equipment for farmers. This momentum has been sustained in the 2024 budget, which has significantly improved the budgetary allocations to all critical sectors of the economy, especially defense, healthcare, education, and infrastructure. In 2023, the President declared a state of emergency on food security, focusing on improving both availability and affordability. Some immediate measures approved the release of fertilizers and grains to farmers and households, particularly given the fallout from the removal of fuel subsidies. Others include boosting the National Strategic Food Reserve and introducing a price stabilization mechanism, especially for critical food items. And just a few days ago, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has constituted a special presidential committee headed by the Chief of Staff to take immediate steps to arrest the worsening food situation in the country. We in the National Assembly have supported and will continue to support the government's efforts in finding effective solutions to these challenges. For the first time in history of the Nigerian legislature, the 10th House set up a committee on nutrition and food security with a mandate to strengthen the legislative framework for nutrition governance in Nigeria, advocate for inclusion of nutrition in government priority programs, and monitor resource allocation for nutrition in the annual budget estimates. Only a few days ago, we engaged key economic and financial sector actors in the sectoral debates of the House. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, his counterpart at the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, brief the House on the country's current economic crisis and immediate remedial measures to improve the situation. They were joined by the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, his deputies, and the Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service. I wish to assure all Nigerians that the House will prioritize funding for programs and initiatives to alleviate hunger and enhance security. We are fully committed to supporting policies that will stimulate our economy, provide relief, and ensure relief is felt in every home. In addition to promoting security so that farmers can feel safe to return to their farms, the House will support import and export policies that stabilize food prices and ensure adequate supply of essential food items at affordable rates, especially for our constituents living in rural areas. We also propose enacting legislation to enable swift government response to tackle food shortages, including emergency food aid and support for affected populations. As we navigate through these tumultuous times, the importance of unity and constructive engagement cannot be overstated. The synergy between the three arms of government, executive, legislative, and judiciary, is paramount. We must function not as an isolated entities, but as a cohesive unit with a common goal, a common vision: the welfare and progress of our dear country. As declared in Section 14 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. This cannot be achieved by one arm of government alone, but by all of us working together for the common good. It also requires greater engagement with citizens who have a duty to hold their selected representatives accountable and demand more government action. The disposition of the President to collaborate with the National Assembly while respecting our independence is remarkable and laudable. I equally commend key advisors and aides of the President for working tirelessly to address Nigeria's multiple challenges. I wish to particularly note the contributions of the Chief of Staff to the President, Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the National Security Advisor, Malanu Rubado, and all other political office holders and aides to the President for their tireless efforts to ensure that the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu delivers on its promise to Nigerians and the 8-point agenda of this particular regime. In any vibrant democracy, the relationship between citizens and their government is symbiotic, characterized by active engagement, mutual trust, and shared accountability. Constructive citizen-government engagement is the cornerstone of democratic governance, facilitating transparency, responsiveness, and inclusive decision-making. As we mature in our democracy, it is imperative to cultivate a culture of meaningful interaction and collaboration between citizens and government institutions. For these reasons, I call on every citizen to engage in positive and constructive criticism. Your voices and opinions are invaluable, providing the compass that guides our actions and policies. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen of the press, as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, my colleagues and I invite Nigerians to engage critically with us on important national issues. In fact, we encourage and welcome criticisms, but they must be constructive and targeted at building national unity and cohesion and advancing development. However, while we encourage freedom of expression and constructive dialogue, we must also be wary of the dangers of fake news and campaigns of slander and defamation, especially against the president and senior government officials. There has been a rise in defamation campaigns on social media involving the deliberate dissemination of false and misleading information with the intent to harm the reputation of individuals or organizations. These campaigns often target political opponents, seeking to undermine their credibility, integrity, and public trust. The recent unjustified and baseless allegations against the Chief of Staff to the President, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, point to the danger of an unfettered and unaccountable social media. Such acts not only undermine the integrity of our democracy, but also erode the fabric of our national unity. Yet, Femi is just one of hundreds of thousands of Nigerians who suffer cyberbullying and coordinated campaigns of defamation daily. Too many victims are not as powerful as him to defend themselves, unfortunately. Those of us who have worked with him for over a decade can attest to his patriotism and integrity, his willingness to voluntarily subject himself at this time to investigation by all the security and law enforcement agencies demonstrate his rectitude and honor. I urge the security agencies to work diligently and swiftly to investigate all matters he has raised in his letter to them and inform Nigerians of their findings. If not found guilty, these agencies must fish out those responsible for the character assassination and ensure they are brought before the law. It is most unfortunate that someone who has, over the years, built a reputation through dint of hard work and commitment to service should have same damage by unscrupulous elements. The consistent attempt to pull him down for purely political or personal reasons and without consequence is deeply deplorable. Often the perpetrators of such damaging acts are ignorant of the illegality of their actions. Section 375 of the Criminal Code Act states that a person who publishes any defamatory matter is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 1 year. And any person who publishes any defamatory matter, knowing it to be false, is liable to imprisonment for 2 years. Also, Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition and Prevention Act 2015 provides that any person who knowingly and intentionally uses computer systems or networks to defame, insult, or engages in actions that slander or cause danger shall be liable on conviction to a fine of no more than 7 million naira or imprisonment for a term of no more than 3 years or both such fine and imprisonment. Furthermore, Section 24, subsection 2 of the Act states that any person who intentionally transmits any communication through a computer system to bully or threaten or harass another person commits an offense under the Act and shall be liable on conviction to 10 years and for a minimum fine of 25 million naira. The Criminal Code also criminalizes defamation and makes it an offense to threaten a person with an injury to his person, reputation, or property. In view of the above, the House intends to strengthen libel, slander, and defamation legislations. In this regard, to avoid being misquoted or quoted out of context, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to make it categorically clear that the House has no intention to stifle free speech. Instead, our objective is to protect the dignity of individuals and the integrity of public discourse. We will ensure that these laws are balanced, providing room for healthy and constructive criticism while safeguarding individuals and institutions from malicious and unfounded attacks. Ladies and gentlemen, in the face of such hardship, it is natural to feel a sense of despair and frustration. The impact of the challenges I've identified above is felt in every home, on every street, and in the hearts of every Nigerian. Yet it is precisely in times like these that our true strength as a nation is revealed. Our resilience, unity, and indomitable spirit have seen us through difficult times before, and I have no doubt that these qualities will carry us through again and again. To those affected by the scourge of insecurity, I want you to know that your government hears you loud and clear. We are taking decisive steps to address the root causes of this menace, deploying both military and diplomatic resources to ensure that the safety and security of all Nigerians. It is a complex challenge, one that requires patience and a time to resolve, but I assure you that we are making progress in this regard. On the economic front, we are equally committed to reversing the downturn and setting our country back on a path of sustainable growth. The policies of the Tinubu-led government are designed to stimulate the economy, encourage investment, and create jobs. We understand the urgency of the situation and are working tirelessly to alleviate the hardships many of you are experiencing. The issue of food shortages is particularly close to my heart. Food security is fundamental to national security. We are implementing comprehensive strategies to boost agricultural production, improve supply chains, and ensure that affordable food is accessible to everyone, regardless of where they live. I ask for your patience as these measures take time to bear fruits, especially of the magnitude we are aiming for. Does not happen overnight. It requires time, effort, and most importantly, the support of every Nigerian. Each of us has a role to play in this journey towards a more secure, prosperous, and food-secured Nigeria. Whether you are a farmer, a business owner, a teacher, a student, your contribution matters at this time. Together, we can overcome these challenges and build a brighter future for our beloved country. As your speaker, I am filled with renewed hope for what we can achieve together and collectively. In conclusion, I call upon every Nigerian, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, to join hands in solidarity. Let us support our government's policies. Let us be patient. And let us work together towards the common goal of a better, stronger, and more unified Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD. I think the Speaker deserves another round of applause, please. Very much. May I recognize the presence in our midst of the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu. He's here in solidarity with the Speaker of the House of Representatives. You're welcome, sir. May I also recognize the presence of the Minority Whip, Honorable Ali Issa. You're welcome. Also, the Deputy Minority Whip of the House of Representatives, Honorable Onanuga, is here. Sorry. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip of the House, Honorable Onanuga, is here. Doctor, you are welcome. Okay. Of course, The Deputy Leader of the House, Honorable Abdullahi Alims, is here also. You're welcome, sir. Other members and chairmen of committees that have joined us while the speaker was reading his speech, you're welcome. Quickly now, it is time to give our colleagues, journalists, the opportunity to ask questions. I'll hand over to the chairman of the House of Reps Press Co to coordinate this. Ms. Grace, she's here. Please quickly, if you are called, you introduce yourself, your medium, and then ask your question briefly. Then the speaker will respond to them, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, SA. Your Excellency, the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Your Excellency, the Deputy Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the Leader of the House of Representatives, the Minority Leader, the Chief Whip, other members present, my dear colleagues, good afternoon all. Well, as we all know, the subject matter is what everybody is talking about, the issue of insecurity and economic challenges facing the country. And we have the parliamentarians here, we have the speaker who will be answering or giving us solutions to some of the questions we'll be asking today. So I'll go straight to the question. We have 6 questions to take for this session. Question number 1. Sati, please can we have the microphone? The microphone, please. Okay, we start with you since you have the microphone. Please go ahead with your question. Introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon, sirs. My name is Anita Patrick. I report for Court TV News. Your Excellency, this World Press Conference is significant, and because it is uncommon for the head of the federal parliament, like the House of Representatives, to come outside of the chambers to address Nigerians on burning national issues. We want to know what necessitated this kind of press conference. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll take all the questions. Your Excellency, you want to...
How do you want it to be?
One house, please, one house.
So he's asking, we are taking 3.
Yeah.
Respond to them. Please permit me to one.
Okay, so we'll take 3 questions for a start, and we give the speaker the room to answer that particular question, and then we'll go to the next 3 questions. Number 2. One house, please, colleagues, one house.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Once again, my name is Tony Akawe. I work with the Nation newspapers. You spoke about the need for the House to organize a security summit to bring together experts to address the challenges we are facing in that sector. We are aware that the last assembly also organized one, and the report is still lying in the shelves of the government. What efforts or what assurance will you give to us and to Nigerians that the outcome of this summit that the House is organizing will be implemented? Thank you, sir.
Question number 3, James.
Okay, good afternoon, the Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, all Honorable members. I am James Quinn. I work for Leadership newspaper. Your Excellency, listening to your speech, you've spoken extensively about the expectations from Nigerians, from the government of the day. In specific terms, tell us or tell Nigerians how will the Parliament, with the core mandate of oversight, ensure that what citizens are expecting is being given to them from the executive arm of government. Thank you.
Your Excellency, please you take the 3 questions, and after that we'll go to the next 3 questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. If I have it correctly, we have 3 questions. The first one is, what necessitates this briefing? I'm sure my honorable colleagues and every meaning Nigerian will tell you that there is no better time for the Nigerian parliament to come out and speak the minds of Nigerians, to respond to their anger, to their agony, to their pains. There is no better time. That's why we're here. We are not here to take care of ourselves. We are here to represent our people. And at this time, at this era, with the kind of hardship Nigerians are facing, it becomes obvious and expedient on us to call for this briefing and to tell the world that we are concerned. We feel their pains, we hear their problems, and we will not relent in coming out to solutions that will ameliorate all their sufferings. This is the main reason why we decided on this day to convey this meeting, to tell the world, to tell our constituents, and to tell our governments. We are here to do the extraordinary. We're here to ensure that all these issues that are affecting our people are paramount to us. I will do everything humanly possible to ensure that we bring succor to their lives. That is the purpose of this meeting. The second question is on the issue of the previous security summit convened during the 9th Assembly, which is similar in so many respects with the one that we are advocating now. The legislative summit that we promised to convene very soon. I'm aware some of us here were also part and parcel of that summit. From what they are saying is that majority of what has been discussed, solutions that have been provided, have not yielded any fruits. Or in a nutshell, the previous government did not do much to implement the resolutions provided during the last summit. I want to assure you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I have said during the 1st October speech, that we are lucky this time around in this country, that we have unity of purpose. The government is made up of legislators. So there is a synergy, there is an understanding, there is a cohesion between what they do there and what we do here. We have a very, very effective understanding. And we want to assure you as well that we will not convey this summit alone. We will do the summit in collaboration with the executives, so that whatever we come up with at the end of the day will be a product of their own input as well. It will not be just the legislators' input. It will be a combined input of both the legislature and the executives. So I want to assure you, this summit will succeed because we will work together with the executive at every stage of that process. Thank you very much. The last question was, in what way can we convince Nigerians that the present 10th House of Representatives oversight will impact on the people of this country? Again, I must emphasize what you have said earlier. In our legislative agenda, we have indicated categorically the means and ways that we are going to follow each sector. what we need to do in each sector. So we are not going to oversight like before in darkness. We have a roadmap. We know where to go and we know the right thing to do in every establishment we visit. And don't forget, for the very first time in the history of this parliament, we have a standing committee that is going to monitor the performance of all standing committees. Oversight is one of the critical areas that this standing committee is going to be very particular about. How effective, how efficient are standing committees oversighting their agencies? And I assure you, after 1 year, we will come out with a report card of each committee, how they are faring, and tell the Nigerian people. We believe with those kind of initiatives, oversight function and oversight activities will be greatly improved, and Nigerians will see the difference in the very near future. Thank you very much.
Excellency, please can I have the two persons here? Okay, you're here, but let's start with the channels reporter. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Quickly, you talked about the fact that we want constructive criticism, and you've talked about the fact that there's a lot of hate speech going around. But a lot of people say that Parliament is always, most times, shrouded in mystery. They want to know what steps you are taking to ensure that you put the narrative out there, because a lot of people would say they resort to things like that because they don't have enough information. So I give you an example. Yes, most parliamentarians have social media handles, but how much or how often do they engage the people on those handles? You know, and of course as well, you know that perhaps the US president briefs oftentimes. So what are the steps you're taking to ensure that you put messages out there so Nigerians can understand the issues and they don't resort to saying things that are not true on social media? That's important, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's question number 4. Can we have question number 5 here?
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Tunji from Arise News. Sir, you've shown quite a lot of sympathy and empathy with Nigerians on the economic situations and what we are passing through. But Nigerians, we actually want to know specifically what are the sacrifices the lawmakers are making so that they will know that we are in this together. What, in specific terms, are the sacrifices the lawmakers are making also so that Nigerians will are fit? And how soon do we expect all the policies like the minimum wage and other policies you put in place to push in effect? How soon do we expect them to be put in place so that Nigerians can fit?
Thank you. The last question.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and the Deputy. My name is Abdul Yusuf from Liberty TV. My question was centered on security and, of course, oversight functions. You talk so much about security, insecurity in your speech. And what I want to ask is, what will you be doing differently from what has been done before to ensure that newly acquired military hardware are put into more effective use than what we used to have before, so we can achieve the aim of purchasing those new military hardware? Since you even said you were is it an unveiling or a launch of a new one just yesterday? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. If I take your questions correctly, the first one is the issue, what we do to ensure that effective information are disseminated by government so that people will be well informed. I think you are asking that question more or less to say sometimes lack of information is what usually degenerates to rumor mongering and sometimes even fabrication of news. I agree with you. We have not been doing too well in passing information. Just a few weeks ago, if I can remember, the issue of relocation of some offices of the Central Bank of Nigeria was greeted with a lot of condemnation in some parts of the country. And what I observed was that the relevant agencies did not do too well in coming out to tell Nigerians, using all available apparatus, why they are transferring so-so department to so-so place. So they left people to decide on what the reasons are, whether real or unreal. So I quite agree with you. One way of really improving or at least discouraging fake news is for the government at all levels to ensure that they are very transparent in disseminating information. I want to assure you is one of the areas that we'll take very seriously. And one of the areas that we are using for now to educate Nigerians and to enlighten Nigerians about what is happening in this government is this new issue of inviting people from different sectors to come on sectoral debates to answer questions that ordinary Nigerians may not be privileged to ask. Their representatives are there, and we're sure the representatives are always in touch with their constituents. So they will be able to generate questions from their constituents and then come forward to ask them at the, during those engagements. If we can be able to sustain that kind of program, I am sure Nigerians will be more informed about the activities of government, particularly areas of critical interest that not too many people are aware of what government is doing. So I agree with you totally. Both the National Assembly, the judiciary, the executive will need to do much more in terms of reeling out information of what we do, so that we don't give people the opportunity, particularly the mischief makers, to fabricate news and sell to the Nigerian people. Thank you very much for that question, and we'll continue to build on what we have started. I assure you, things will get better. The government will become more transparent in terms of information dissemination. Thank you. The next question is, what guarantee or assurance can we give Nigerians that things will be better for Nigerians in this particular regime? Is that the question, or I took it wrongly?
It's okay, sir. Yes, that's good.
Well, somebody, the master of ceremony, when he was introducing us, said this is an extraordinary program. It has never been done before. This is the very first time in the history of the parliament that we are addressing World Press Conference to discuss about issues of very critical importance. This is part of the change. This is part of the change that will always be available. We are a people's parliament and will always be at the center of issues whenever they arise. Wherever there are issues, you can be rest assured that the 10th House of Representatives, and by extension, the National Assembly, will be very, very proactive in addressing these issues. Again, I want to refer you to our legislative agenda. We have come up with a very, very comprehensive legislative agenda that goes in tandem with the administration's 10-point agenda. We made sure that there is a synergy between the two, so that we can be able to give all the legislative support the executive requires for us to succeed. So without any doubt in mind, I want to assure Nigerians that things will get better. Things will get better for every one of us. We in the National Assembly will make sure that the executive does the needful, the executive deliver on its mandates, and I have no doubt that the government has the passion, has the commitment to deliver, and will be there all the way to support it. Thank you. The last question was on the assurance we can give Nigerians that the newly acquired military hardware will be put to good use. I think, by and large, the military or the security forces have seen the anger of Nigerians, particularly in recent time when there was a misapplication, an innocent misapplication. It was not a deliberate one, how Nigerians reacted to that particular incident in Kaduna. I want to assure you that the Nigerian Armed Forces, the government of this country, and the Nigerian National Assembly will hold the armed forces 100% accountable for their actions. We have said it in my address that it is not good enough for the government to say, this is what we want the security to do, and this is the resources we are giving you to do it. We, at the level of legislature, will make sure that every penny given to the security agencies is accounted for. We must see value addition in that particular money invested. We assure you we will not relent on that. We have put the mechanisms through our legislative agenda, through our standing committees, to ensure that security agencies will be held accountable for the security of this country. They will be accountable for the resources given to them to ensure adequate security for this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I think we should give him another round of applause for brilliantly responding to questions raised by journalists at this World Press Conference, the first of its kind to be addressed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. May I inform us once again that this press conference is being televised live on Channels TV, Arise TV, and of course, Africa's largest television network, NTA. With that, Your Excellency, with your kind permission, we have come to the end of this press conference. We thank you very much for responding to the yearnings of Nigerians at this critical time, critical moment in our nation's history. We look forward to more and more of this kind of engagement. We thank you very much, Your Excellency. We also thank His Excellency, the Deputy Speaker, for standing by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We also thank the leadership of the House, led by the House Leader, Professor Julius Ihonvere, and of course, the Chief Whip of the House, Minority Leader, Deputy Leader, Deputy Minority Leader, of course, Deputy Chief Whip of the House, and other principal officers here present. Thank you very much, honorable members, for coming, and most importantly, thank you very much, our colleagues in the media. You're most welcome. Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention that the press conference is also live on the House of Representatives, being live streamed on the House of Representatives handle on Facebook, YouTube, by NAS TV. Of course, we also have it live on the Speaker's personal handles on social media. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our colleagues. Thank you.
To anan ne ko ina